Hello, I'm Emma Maslin, financial coach and one of the trainers at Stretching the City. In this video, I'm going to be talking about how you can give your finances a spring clean and boost your financial wellness with 5 practical tips. Now, financial admin doesn't typically top the list of things that people want to get stuck into. But unlike healthy eating and physical exercise, which you need to stick at consistently to see the results, for the most part, once you've taken action on the things I'm going to talk about here, you've done the hard work. You don't need to keep doing them over and over, day in, day out. So hopefully that gives you the motivation you need to get these things done so that you can enjoy having a tidy financial house. Now, my first tip is all to do with taking stock of where you are financially right now. If you were going to start a healthy eating and exercise regime, you would likely take some measurements before you started to give yourself a benchmark against which to measure your progress. Weight, BMI, body measurements of different parts of your body. Now, it's the same when we approach our finances. You need to know your starting position to be able to set goals and measure how you're improving. Now, your financial benchmark is what we call your net worth. And your net worth is simply a list of all your assets, so everything that you own, less all of your liabilities, so everything that you owe. By tracking your net worth over time, it acts as a huge motivator to increase your assets and decrease what you owe so that your overall net worth builds. A positive net worth brings an enormous sense of financial security and positive mental well-being. The exercise of pulling together your net worth will help you understand your current financial situation and measure your financial health by seeing what would be left over if you sold everything that you owned to cover all of your debts. It gives you a reference point for measuring your progress towards any specific financial goals that you might have in place, like building an emergency fund or paying off your mortgage early, for example. So how do we compile our net worth? Well, firstly, you want to list all of the things that you own, your assets, and the value of each of those. So they will include things like your home, any investment property that you may have, money in bank accounts or savings accounts, cars, investments such as ISAs or share trading accounts, and any business interests that you might have. Then you want to list all of your liabilities, so the things that you owe to other people. And that will include the mortgage on your own home, mortgage on any investment properties, overdrafts, credit card balances, store card balances, car loans, and student loans. You deduct the total of your liabilities from the total of your assets to give you your overall net worth. Now, this current net worth is a snapshot in time, really, of your finances right now. And you can use this snapshot to frame any financial goals that you have for the year ahead. Maybe you want to build your emergency saving, or you want to pay off consumer debt. Maybe you want to start investing and build that asset pot. Every decision that you make around your money should be aimed at increasing your net worth, either by increasing your assets or decreasing what you owe. Both of those things will increase your overall net worth. My second action for your financial spring clean is to check your credit score. Throughout your life, your credit score plays a key role in the financial products that you're able to take out. For example, when applying for a credit card or a mortgage, even a mobile phone, your credit score could be used to help determine whether your application is accepted or not, and ultimately what interest rate you end up paying. It's vital that you check yours is accurate regularly. If it isn't, you could find yourself in a difficult situation when you next engage with a financial institution, whether that's opening a new bank account or applying to remortgage with a new lender. Your credit report includes your borrowing history and your track record for repaying your debts on time. Your credit score is a subset of this report and a tool used by lenders to help determine whether you qualify for a particular credit card, loan, mortgage, or service. Having a good or bad credit score will ultimately impact lots of financial decisions you're able to make. Everything from being able to take out a phone contract or having to stick with pay as you go to getting certain types of insurance. So it's really important not to neglect looking after it and review it for accuracy regularly. In the UK, we have 3 major credit reference agencies which provide your credit score for free. They are Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. Just be aware that each of them have different scoring systems and they won't always show you the same results. Checking your credit score should be something which you do regularly. What you're checking for is any mistakes, fraudulent activity, anything like that, so that you can report them to the agencies and have them corrected. Also, if your credit score isn't great, a check-in might just be the prompt that you need to begin working on it to improve it. On to the third task for your financial spring clean. Writing a will and keeping it up to date isn't a hugely enjoyable task because, let's face it, who wants to think about dying? Which is probably why a staggering proportion of the adult population in this country don't have one. But there really are no excuses. If you haven't got round to writing a will yet, there are a few different ways to go about it. You can either approach your solicitor or professional will writer to do it for you, or you can use an online will writing service which guides you through the process, checks for errors along the way, and makes sure that you have all the various situations covered. Whichever you choose, the important message here is get your will written. Don't put it off. Don't wait for the thing to happen that you have been waiting for. Just write your will today and update it as you go through life. Remember, you're not writing the will for your benefit. It's a thoughtful act for the benefit of your family and your loved ones. Now, if you have got a will already, I want you to take 5 minutes to review it. Do the contents of your will still make sense? If you have a letter of wishes which sits alongside your will, does that need updating? If you keep a document for your executors with maybe a list of your assets, you'll want to do a review of that and update anything that needs to be updated to make sure that that's still accurate. Now, the fourth task involves a bit more paperwork as we're talking about pensions. Knowing how much you have in retirement savings is a really essential part of your future planning. If you don't want to work forever, you need to be building a decent sized pot to live off in your later years. Increasingly, people are switching jobs frequently or working several roles at any one time. And in that scenario, you may find that you have several pension pots. Do you know where all your pensions are and how much are saved in each of your various pensions? If the answer is no, it's really easy to trace your old pensions. You can head to the government's free pension tracing service to locate all of your old pensions. Once you know where they are, make sure that they have all of your details, your current details, including your postal address and email address, and register for online access too, so that you can keep up to date with your balances. Once you know what the total amount is in your pension, whether that's with one provider or many, you're then better placed to see whether it's on track to deliver a decent amount to retire on. Google pension calculator and plug in your current pot size and what you intend to contribute going forward. It will then tell you the size of your projected pension at the age at which you wish to retire. If you don't think you could live on the projected figure, you need to think about ways to grow that pot now. Now, for my final financial spring clean task, I'm asking you to automate your finances. Money is a hugely emotional topic, and the decisions around what we do with it tend to become emotional ones. Unfortunately, this often means that our emotions can end up sabotaging our good intentions. But there is a way to outplay our emotions by setting up a process and automating it so that you no longer need to think about it regularly. It's really easy, for example, to say that we're going to save £20 a week into a Christmas fund starting in January so that by Christmas time we've got £1,000 saved. But the reality is that we may spend it on other things. We might decide Christmas is so far away that we'll just start later on in the year, or we simply forget to transfer the money into a savings pot. Now, automating our savings means that we make sure our good intentions happen. Whether it's Christmas savings, whether it's building an emergency fund, saving regularly for your children, or overpaying your debts. Set up a standing order to go out on payday. Make that standing order the very first payment out of your account before you pay any other bills. Once you have automated that financial goal, you will achieve it consistently. So there are my 5 tips for a financial spring clean. After completing all these tasks, you will feel a great sense of accomplishment for getting your financial house in order.